welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On The Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas, and I'm joined by my co-host, AJ, all the way from Norway.
And you are aware that Christians people watch the show.
Why?
And people from the Latino community, Black community, Arab community, Gypsies, everyone.
Tell me why.
And tell me why? Because this music intro, it's very painful for us to listen to.
Well,
it's very hard. It's very angry.
I'm sure people can guess who chose it.
It's very brutal. It's like it's like god damn,
Good,
bro.
AJ, it's good love-making music.
That's exactly what it's not.
Fast and intense. Intro, 32 seconds.
It's
24. Actually, it's 24, isn't it?
No.
AJ, you're outvoted, mate.
Jeff Beckham, if you're listening, please, we need your vocal skills to make us a new theme song.
AJ, are you listening?
It's so much better to listen to Jeff.
What?
Jeff Beckham isn't better than this devil music.
I will humbly disagree.
Have you been to a devil music concert before?
Yes, in fact, I need to buy tickets for one this month.
Did you see a black person at all in the audience? Be honest.
Do you want to come see Five Finger Death Punch end of the month?
No.
Well, it was very... Well, it was... I was going to say it's dark in there, so you can't tell.
Do you see a black person or a Latino person in the audience, in the devil, in the five finger, whatever you called it?
Five Finger Death Punch?
Do you see a black person in the audience, or a Latino, or an Arab in the audience?
It's in darkness.
So do you see Vietnamese, or do you see anyone in the? Do you see anyone?
Actually, the friends I went with, one was Thai or Philippine.
Was he adopted?
No, but he was going with his husband.
He was what?
He was there with his husband.
Okay.
I was there with my fiance at the time, and we went with some friends of mine. They were a couple.
And the guy, the Asian, he enjoyed this music.
Yeah, he loves it.
Maybe he faked it.
Well, he only likes a couple of the tracks.
Maybe he went there because of his partner liked it.
Well, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But he said he loved it. He had a great time. So
that's why you did it like this, huh?
What? Yeah, no, he said he liked it. He liked it, yeah. And that was when Phil Heath came on my Instagram live.
Well,
Phil.
Arnold Classic is upon us soon.
Yes.
Victor Martinez said the other day to me that he gave up his show in the Dominican Republic. You know, he gave up him and John De La Rosa. They're not putting on the show anymore.
What?
Yes, they said.
What, the coat of arms?
What was the show again?
The coat of arms.
Okay.
Coat of arms.
He
I promoted it on my one of my other shows.
What he put into it, he wasn't getting back. Meaning, it was.
No, they only did it for 1 year. They had 212, didn't they? Jose Raymond won it, didn't they?
I think they did it for 2 years.
2 years. Oh, and the hotels were fantastic.
But he said it because he wants to focus on the Arnold Classic beatdown that's going to happen.
How many years do you think Victor's got left?
Who do you think preps him for the show? Who is the legend creator? The ultimate other than Henry Rambad, of course.
Asita?
Even bigger.
Farah?
Chad Nichols.
Oh, Chad Nichols.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. I like Chad.
So Chad Nichols is prepping Victor Martinez.
Yeah.
He's stress-free. He said he's got a new marriage with a beautiful young woman.
Victor
Martinez, yes.
Yes, and I'm just saying, you've seen Victor or John, because you know John's got a new partner.
Yeah, but I don't think he's married yet. I hope not.
Okay.
That went
so
too
Victor's
quick.
with somebody, but he just had a baby as well last year.
Remember, Victor was married in the Dominican, in the South America. Remember?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Now he has it because he's got a new child, doesn't he? Last year. So is it that lady?
I'm not TMC. I do not know exactly. But
Not TMZ.
But anyway, he's refreshed. He's in love.
Yeah.
He has no other obligation to take his time away.
Okay, that's good. That's always good. For
What
focus.
can big Victor was absolutely robbed in 2019 on a classic. It was a scandal of the highest sorts.
He was in like fourth call out, and the thing with Victor, he fades very fast.
What do you mean by that?
So if he's not in the first call out, he comes out and when he first comes out, like everyone, they're all pumped, and some guys seem to hold their pump. But thing is, if you don't get the chance to pose first or even the second call out, because when you come out and you're fresh and you're in that first call out, you kind of have an advantage over the other guys because you're posing, and usually when guys pose, they just get better and better. But like Victor was, and he was so deflated because he was in like probably third or fourth. I think it was fourth call out, last call out, and he's been called out with obviously the guys that you knew are not going to be like top 6 or top 8. Because when Victor first came out, I could hear Stan McCrary and Chris Cormier behind me.
Stan McCrary looks very cool always, by the way.
Yes, very cool.
With the shades inside, like somebody else is doing. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, and I heard, I think was it Chris or Stan that said, I think he's going to get 4th place. He looked that good. But by the time he came out, he was just like, oh man, I felt really bad for him actually. So, because he did look good.
The Dominican Dominator who Ron Harris. Did you know Ron Harris created the Dominican Dominator?
Was that I didn't know that was Ron.
Yeah.
Okay, fair
So
play.
Ron Harris is
cool.
he's got some good nicknames.
Yeah.
What else was the good nickname? There was something freaky. I can't remember what it was.
You mean that Ron Harris has created? The name is created.
Yeah. Was
Okay,
there something else?
No, I can't think of any of those. Was it Boston Mass? Did he create that one? Jose Raymond? Yeah. Well, they're both from Boston, so maybe he did. Yeah.
I can't remember. Anyway, Victor Martinez.
Yeah, Victor.
The ultimate people champion, Lionel Beke.
Yeah.
Why do you say like, oh, yeah? Why do you say like, why did you
well,
say,
he took, no, he actually took.
Why do you say, why do you have to say like, oh? Why?
He took.
Why would you have to say, oh? When I talk about the French sensation all the way from Ghana, Lionel Beke, Cameroon, I'm sorry.
He took 6th place last year and he took 6th place the year before and he looks absolutely fantastic.
There you go.
Yeah, he did.
Why you start off with, oh?
No, I think we want to see, calm down, Colleen. I want to see him just fulfill that potential. I really do.
This year will be the year.
But he's got a new sponsor and everything now, isn't he? So
yes,
he's
a YouTube channel for the first time ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Finally, Lionel, you're stepping up, mate.
So at his own YouTube channel.
Have you just been badgering him non-stop, trying to help him?
Absolutely correct.
Good. That's good. That's really good, AJ. I mean, all joking aside, that is really good because it's you know how fickle the fans of this sport can be. It's really good. It's really good that you kind of stick with them and you kind of keep that faith in them. Because you can tell a real fan when they're kind of seemingly on the slide or not fulfilling their potential. Usually that's when the fans go, ugh, I'm done. Next guy.
Patrick Moore, the new the people favorite for a lot of people. Patrick Moore.
He won the Californian Pro last year. He took 10th place at the Olympia. And for me, he was probably one of the biggest stars of the Olympia. He was the one that most people were talking about in terms of his aesthetics, his condition, his posing. It's just like, but on his own, he looked tremendous, but you could see the lack of size when he was next to the other guys.
He's already gotten some haters because he got so much hype, by the way. You know that?
What from?
From some DMs I get from some I talked about...
Are you about the Arnold Olympia, though?
No. I got DMs from some people here and there that don't like us upping him too much. They say he needs some more time and size.
Well, we disagree because we saw some pictures at was it 6-7 weeks, and I went, he's big, and he went, bro, he looks exactly the same size. I think he's going to be bigger. I think he's going to be bigger, and he's going to get help from Phil Heath as well because I know he's being prepped by
Acito.
Oh, sorry, Chris Acito, of course, and but Phil's kind of just helping him with.
Structured by.
Sorry,
Lee.
Lee Labrada, of course. Yeah, of course. So that's so you got Phil Heath, Chris Acito, and Lee Labrada in your corner.
And now we have Josh Lenartowicz, healthy, hopefully.
Are you happy he's coming back so soon? Be honest now. Be honest.
If he's healthy, let's go. But if he's not, of course, this is very a wrong thing to do. But since he's doing it, we're supporting.
Okay. No, I like Josh. Josh for me is one of the most genuine, nicest people in the industry. He's a very gentle soul. I like Josh. Really nice guy. Very genuine.
So this is kind of
a big guy. Big.
This is what we talked about. This is size.
Yeah, it was disappointing not to see him at the Olympia last year. He was one of the ones that started that dropped out obviously because he had brain surgery.
Beautiful posing, like Patrick Moore, also beautiful posing. Stop it now. You stop it.
AJ.
No.
AJ.
Seriously,
you
bro.
Know what I'm
No.
You know what I'm going to say.
You don't win the best poster award if you're not a good poser, bro.
I wasn't crazy on his posing routine.
Are you seriously? You know when he went down to the floor
and
then he came up and this Muscular, the music hit and he went. You weren't crazy about it, really?
No. I prefer like.
You're beautiful. That was the song.
I thought Bonac's posing was better.
I think was very good too. So
I'm more of a classical type poser, and it was a very expressive routine Josh did. But I don't know whether it would deserve best posing award.
Oh, you're so beautiful.
You had Cedric as a great poser.
Very good.
Very good, but he needs to change his routine a little bit because he's very good, but he's been doing the same
We'll
thing.
come to him. Let's go to who's in it. Josh Lenartovich.
Okay, Josh. I just want to see Josh. I want to see Josh because I saw Josh at the 2017 Tampa Pro, and he was 270 there. Things with Josh, he can bring in a very, very good combo of size and condition, but looking like he's 4 weeks out where he needs to get crisper from the back. But when he gets crisper from the back, he seems to lose a lot of his size and fullness when he gets to the big shows. So if Josh is working with Patrick Tour.
So you're a good friend?
My good friend from Switzerland, super coach. So if Patrick can get him front, back, side to side in condition with that kind of fullness that I've physically seen him on stage with, then he could be a dark horse, definitely. Because I'll be honest, he blew it at the Arnold last year. He blew it. He took ninth. Akeem was ninth. I think he took 8th place at the Arnold Classic last year, and he looked several weeks out.
And I don't want to talk about his age anymore.
Who?
We got Dexter the Blade Jackson.
Age is irrelevant with that guy.
I don't want to talk about his age.
It's irrelevant.
I know. So what do you think we will see from the Blade coming in 2020 Arnold, Ohio? Can he win it? Can he win it?
No.
No?
No, I think no. I don't really see what Dexter's got left to prove now.
Doesn't matter what he has to prove. I'm asking if he can win it.
No. I think third. I think other guys have been improving. I mean, he is incredible. I mean, he's been 1999 was 19. Do you know his first pro show was the 1999 Arnold Classic? So we talk about 90s pros. This guy started his career in the 90s. It's amazing, and he's won the Olympia, the Arnold, more Arnolds. A lot of them.
It's going to be exciting as always to see him there, and it makes the show so much better. When Dexter is in it, he brings the quality. But I personally I don't have him winning. No, I don't have him winning.
Yeah,
That's going to be hard.
Yeah, Dexter's always going to be up there.
Yeah.
But I just I feel like it sounds tight, but I can't get excited about the guys that maybe have got no improvements left to make. He's kind of just going to look as good, which is amazing. But I like to see the new guys coming up with the new improvements. But he's going to be he's not going to be any lower than 4th.
The man who's going for redemption. He's going for redemption. He's drama-free with all the girls in his life. He can pose beautifully.
Yeah.
He's going to walk on stage, hopefully getting the best poster award from the man who challenged his dad. A historical moment, something Peter McGough, who's going through cancer, sadly. We can talk about it a little bit later. Peter McGough having a hard time.
Peter McGough, very good friend of mine. Love the guy.
This is something Peter McGough would write about, things like this. This is Flex Magazine. We don't support Flex Magazine anymore, but you know what I mean? He would write. Sergio Oliva Jr.
Don't get it. Don't call him Olivia. He gets very sensitive, AJ.
He's going for his first Arnold Classic in 20. What are your expectations?
AJ, I'm so happy to see him doing the Arnold Classic because he was supposed to do the Arnold Classic last year, wasn't it? Or was it the year before? Because he won the New York Pro, his pro debut in 2017. He won that. He skipped the Olympia that year. He came back in 2018 and he came second to Michael. You're right. He went there. He came second to Michael Lockett at the. Is it Vancouver or Chicago? No, it was Chicago, and then he took second to Alexis Rivera at the Tampa Pro.
Who I want to see again real soon, by the way.
Oh, Alexis Rivera! I must have written about that guy 10 times in my MD column.
That's a talent.
Do you know what? Take a look at Alexis Rivera's photos. Have a look at his Instagram and have a look at his physique. And just imagine him with a little bit more size, a little bit more improvements. Because that guy, top to toe, side to side, he's got aesthetics, condition, detail, striations, thickness. I think he's probably got the most. But because he hasn't competed since the 2018 Olympia where he took 11th, he's off everyone's radar. He had a knee problem last year.
I know.
And I actually messaged him and he responded in Spanish.
¿Cómo está? Muy bien. ¿Y tú?
And I was like, mate, I've spoken to you in English and you responded to me in Spanish. So I would have thought he'd
bodybuilding. Español, sí.
You speak a few languages, don't you?
Sí.
How many? No, yeah, you're just trolling now.
No. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Now you speak in Norwegian.
No. Es español. Sí.
Is he?
Dette her norsk.
What are you nodding for? What language do you speak? How many languages do you speak?
Anyway, forget about all the languages. Sergio Oliva Jr. going into his Arnold debut.
Yeah, so obviously in 2019 we didn't see him and he had a little drama. As he pulled him aside at the Olympia, gave him a jolly good finger wagging. I said, Sergio, enough of this female drama. And he said, Giles, and I kind of said it quite seriously, but like kind of joke, in a lighthearted way. And he went, no, Giles, seriously, I've got it all out the way.
Good.
He says, I'm fully focused.
So
and do you know why I believed him? Because he was looking the biggest I've ever seen him.
So where are we looking at Sergio and Arnold?
And he's a very snappy dresser.
Where are we looking at him? Forget the posing award. That's a lock. That's on a lock. It's hard to say, really.
Sixth to eighth.
We have to see his new physique.
6th to 8th with an improved physique would be a victory for him.
I agree.
And it would be a step up because he kind of stepped up, won the New York Pro, and then he's missed a couple of big shows. He had 2 second places, looked very good, but even his posing wasn't that great in 2018. You could see he was, because he said he prepped for those. He said it when he came on Global Muscle, he prepped for those shows in a hurry. And you could kind of see that he wasn't at his best and the improvements weren't there, which you'd expected from a guy who's kind of on the rise and in his prime, and at the right age to kind of improve. We've got to expect improvements from Sergio. But the thing with Sergio, he's a very hard worker. And if he truly has got rid of all the drama and he's fully focused, then he will be dangerous.
He's got a new tattoo on his head, by the way.
Oh.
The way you said, oh.
Not a tattoo. You don't get tattoos on your head or your face. Shall I get one?
You can join Lee Priest's club then. Lee Priest and Giles chilling.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, great.
Anyway.
Sergio. I would love to see Sergio just bring up an improved package and get some good call-outs. And do you know what I'd like to see him do? Go and do 1 or 2 shows within a couple of months afterwards and just get a pro win. And then shut it down, come to the Olympia, and then get top 10, because then he's back on the map.
And then here comes the guy who was least talked about, very disrespected. He's got a little bit thick skin, but he's got the size. Why is nobody talking about big Akeem Williams?
Akeem, yeah. He took 9th place last year.
Beat a lot. Should have beat... I would have... Come on
He
now.
was... What was he?
He should have beat Lucas Oslado. Come on now.
What show?
Olympia.
Oh, the Olympia, yeah.
Lucas beat him.
To be honest, the package...
Come on now.
To be honest, the package he brought at the Olympia was heavier and harder. Because I spoke to Gerard Denti in the morning, and he said, Akeem's, was it 260? Shredded. And I was like, no, he needs to be 250 or below to be shredded. So we had him on this show, and he said that he just prepped differently, he ate more, he trained differently. So he basically gained 10 to 12 pound of muscle for the Olympia and gained a lot of condition. So he took 9th place at the Olympia. I want to say 9th.
8th, 9th. Because Lucas got 8th.
Lucas
and
was
Cedric
8th.
got
Cedric
7th.
was 7th, correct, yeah.
And Patrick got 10th.
Patrick was 10th, yeah.
Should have been a little bit higher. I think Patrick should have.
I would have swapped him with Cedric.
Doesn't matter.
Well, doesn't matter, yeah. So,
Akeem Williams coming in.
Akeem is really improving. If he can continue those improvements from the Olympia, then he could do very well.
Training with Kai Green's first coach, Oscar Arden.
Oscar Arden, correct. Yeah.
If it's Kai's first coach, I'm not sure. But was Oscar Arden Kai's first coach, or was he?
Microphone.
Was he his first coach?
I don't know.
No, Oscar Arden. No,
I don't really follow Kai much.
Why is that? Screen again. I'm not sure what's going on. Technical difficulty. We need a new cable, bro.
No, it's just the screensaver. It was. I was always a Phil Heath fan.
Me too.
Yeah.
You know how many people on YouTube saying Giles and AJ are such nerds when it comes to Phil Heath, that we're so fanboys?
I'm fanboys of everyone, AJ.
No, you're
not.
not.
Fanboys of bodybuilding.
No, you just said you're not.
I'm friends with Phil, and I'm a fan. Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
He probably is my favorite bodybuilder.
Yeah.
If you asked of the last 10 years who my favorite bodybuilder was, I would have to say Phil. I always like Cedric as well. Cedric when he's on. Cedric when he's on is like amazing. With the Arnold Australia look that Cedric bought last year, I mean I think he should have beat Bonac there. The Arnold Australia last year. I thought. Do you remember?
What did you say now?
I thought Cedric had won when we saw the pre. But do you remember when we were online? I remember waking up on the Sunday, and I remember saying online and on the MD forums, I said, Cedric's beat Bonac here. He's beat him. And a couple of people said, no, you do know that William Bonac's going to win this. I said, no, not anymore. I said, because Bonac always seems to fade. He always brings it. He brings it when it really matters at the big shows. And Cedric usually improves. So it was kind of the other way around. So I just thought Cedric, what he brought to the Arnold Australia last year was such a beautiful look.
The Big Mac just signed with Redcon 1. He's actually...
Oh, Cedric, yeah.
You don't even know the Big Mac. It's Cedric
I was
McMillan.
thinking of Mac Truck, the guy who slapped Piana. Rich, was it? Hang on. I gotta get my social media gossip. Mac Truck was the guy that had the fight with Rich Piana.
Yeah, but there was no slapping of all. There was some...
Kissing?
There was some back and forth.
Right, okay, so...
Rich Piana is our good friend, rest in peace.
Yeah.
But
do you know, I've started to really... I kind of get the Rich Piana thing now. I never did when he was alive.
Oh, I was on the train. You remember I was on the train?
You were, and I was like, I just can't, this guy.
Bro, such
but
a
now
good man.
I know, and now I've seen some videos. Like I thought maybe it was. I kind of get it now. I get it. Like so, I get there in the end. I'm a bit late to the party sometimes, AJ.
No, we miss Rich Piana very much. And
yeah,
to Mac Truck, he has gotten his pro card, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I just saw it. I'm not sure which class, but I just saw IBB Pro. Big Mac, Cedric McMillan.
One of my favorites.
Just signed with Redcon, actually doing social media for a change.
Well, he has to now. No, because Redcon they really saw him
in Romania. He was a star of the show. Meaning he has some people online saying they're not a fan because he's not giving out content. And it's not coming in shape when it counts, Miss Olympia, where we want to see our heroes deliver the package.
He got that special invite, didn't he?
But every year he's never in the Olympia shape. He's never been in Olympia shape, huh?
7th, 9th.
10th, 12th, didn't disqualify, didn't show up.
It's funny that he turned up and he got one of his highest placings, and it was the worst he'd looked.
But Romania, what's with Cedric? He has that larger than life aura.
Yeah, when it's like 6'1", 6'2".
When he feels good, when he's confident, when there's no anxiety, when he's
he said he gets really bad anxiety.
Yeah. So on stage, he's he's joking around, he's helpful with other athletes. When he's in a good mood, he treats his fans well.
When he's not in a good mood,
I don't know. How do I know? He smiles. He's what the sport needs. I just hope he can be it all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
they'll say it, yeah.
He's with Redcon. I hope he's getting older now. He sees there's money to be made. He has a lovely family.
Yeah.
I think he wants to provide, when you're at the end of your career, you want to bring in the checks.
I would still like to see him do more stuff, content with the charity thing he does. The working with the disadvantaged.
Yeah, but he's doing he's in the military still, or?
Yeah, but yes, he is in the military still.
Maybe he doesn't have time.
But he does a lot of it, but maybe he doesn't want to exploit it. And do you know what I mean? It's like when you see people giving to like homeless people and they're filming themselves. It's like wankers. Like that's what you think I do. I think wanker. I think you're a wanker.
When we did the charity event, I posted it on back. Charity event with Phil. Yeah. I posted everywhere. But it felt good though.
No, it did. No, it did. That's why we're doing it again.
Yeah.
With unique potential in. There's a wristband there. Look. Give him a follow. Give him a follow, guys. It's a charity for.
I only take it off when I rub people's glutes with tanning. Else it's on. Cedric, beautiful shape. I saw him. Big, wide, freaky. The frame is like nobody else. Is there anybody with such good frame as him at Olympia right now? Because that's
tall, wide, over 6 foot,
good legs.
Steve Kukla. Yeah, tall, wide.
Basically,
if you're tall and you've got wide shoulders and you've got a slight
big
waist
legs
and big legs, then you're pretty much that's pretty much as good as it gets.
So what do we expect Cedric at this Arnold? Arnold is in love with the Big Mac.
Cedric versus Nathan, who wins? Because last year Luke Sando beat Cedric.
I got Nathan.
You got Nathan beating Cedric.
Yeah, after this Kuwait game over, lights out, Rocky Balboa style type of game.
To be honest, sometimes you have this is the Ramy versus Bonac show. Sometimes I look for the other rivals, so I think about where they are in the pecking order, and I think I am very much looking forward to when you look at their pro wins and their where they are. I'm looking forward to seeing that clash, Nathan versus Cedric, because Nathan could definitely beat him.
So for people at home, Nathan...
sorry to interrupt. Cedric always looks good at the Arnold. He never brings that to Olympia.
I know.
Never brings that to Olympia. He had second to Kai Green in 2016. He won it in 2017. He was third in 2018, and he was fourth in 2019. So he's like first, second, third, fourth since the last 4 years. So I don't. He's
Nathan the Asher, bro.
But Nathan could push him out of the top 6.
He didn't leave Matt Porter and like left him because of coach. They're still good friend.
Matt who?
Matt Jansen, I'm sorry.
Yep.
They didn't left. They still have a good friendship.
Yeah.
It was just to focus away from the UK.
Well, if he wanted to go to Kuwait and you need a coach, they kind of do everything in house, don't they? In Kuwait, is there anyone in Kuwait that has worked with coaches outside of Kuwait? That's kind of the whole point of going, isn't it? Isn't that one of the benefits of going?
You can't have a coach in
Bulgaria
and
no, but you couldn't go to Kuwait and work with Acito. It doesn't work like that.
No.
That's how, because you get a trainer, you get a coach, you get
everything
taken care of. That's part of the benefit of going there, surely.
Yeah. So Nathan the Asher, what are we looking at for this Arnold from him?
Got to be top 5. He's got to be.
He has to.
He's got to be. And he had what? He won the British Grand Prix, beating Samson Dauda. I like that look.
Very streamlined, very good condition.
Do you know what I like? I like to see a really nicely polished physique, a really like consistent conditioning, thin skin, good overall condition. Not like
you look really
clean
good.
Lines. It was like he said he was heavier, but he kind of looked a little bit smaller than he's been. But for me, that's a much more, like he says, he really likes to emulate the physiques of the 90s. And for me, that was perfect. That was a perfect look.
What about the Conqueror, William Bonac?
Oh, William.
Because he's doing this Arnold. Obviously, the favorite on paper.
Yeah.
The favorite on paper based on last year's stats.
Bonac.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think he'll win it. He got second at the Olympia last year here to Brandon Curry. He took second at the Arnold Classic last year. He won the Arnold Classic Australia last year. He was fourth place at the Olympia the year before. He won the Arnold Classic the year before. He was third place at the Olympia the year before. So I think on paper, he's the most consistent. And for me right now, plus he came into the Olympia with a leg injury and still got second.
I know.
And to be honest, when I saw him first come out for his posing routine at the night show at the Olympia, I thought he'd won it. And then I saw Brandon's routine.
So William Bonac is my favorite to win.
Yeah.
But bodybuilding world, it's not often you get this type of anticipation for a show because of one person. No. From one person. He's not the reason why Arnold Classic is so epic. There's many reasons for that. But
it's added.
How do you say his first name? Mamadou
El-Sabai. That's why we call him Big Ramy, because we can't pronounce it.
Big Ramy.
Big Ramalama Ding Dong.
From Egypt.
Egypt, yeah, correct.
Who I have no idea why Sean Ray and Neil Hill on the Olympia cast kept on and on about Shaban is the only one from Egypt ever on the Olympia stage.
Is that what they said?
Yeah, they forgot about Big Ramy. They said it 10 times. Neil. So,
no,
yeah.
Come on.
I was like, bro, guys, aren't you guys experts? You don't know Big Ramy's from Egypt? So anyway.
Okay. Well, we all have brain fart sometimes.
Yeah,
I thought Regan Grimes wasn't from Canada.
A guy on the forums, by the way, said Shaban was a really, really good man, by the way. Shaban.
Yeah.
I don't know much.
Great physique. Fantastic physique.
Shaban, what's his last name? I can't remember.
No, I'm not going to guess.
No.
Shaban. Shaban's the only name. He's a new guy. He won the Portugal Pro and then he went to the Olympia. Didn't place. But good physique. Great physique. Yeah.
So, off 2019.
Yeah.
Speculations about health problems, injuries, God knows what. He said all the time, bro, I'm completely fine. I have a small injury. We don't know who's prepping him. We don't know where he's prepping. Where he is prepping. He's with Dragon Pharma.
Yeah.
He's got a good support team from them.
Yeah.
He's financially stable.
Yeah. And the thing is,
he's got and we've seen guest postings in 2019 where he looked like the freak. The freaks want to get freaked on by.
I think that Lee, and then he's kind of brought his size back up. I think his physique has improved.
It's hard for me to tell.
What I've seen, I can see, like when he kind of started back, because he took a lot of time out. Obviously, he wasn't the same kind of dimensions and freakiness, but I liked the improvements to his shape. I think the break did him good mentally, physically. And for me, his physique looked better. I think it looked better. But like I saw that guest posing. What show was that? It was a few months ago, and I just like, yeah. And he really looked, huge. Like really like what we've wanted to see from.
That's what we want to see. When you were
we
young
missed
and
the
you saw
freak, we
Marcus
missed the
Rule
freak.
and you got an erection right away at home. You saw Marcus Rule looking freaky. That's what we need. Nice shape, but freaky mass monsters with small waist. Bro.
Yeah, but Marcus Rule never won the Olympia.
No, I'm just saying what we want to see. We like to see freaks.
Yeah.
It's not always about winning. It's about what we like to see, isn't it?
Yeah, well, why do we love Ronnie?
Well,
he was just a monster.
That's different.
But I'm just glad that Ramy took that year out because his life was a bit chaotic. Because you think about being in a country because you're there to be a bodybuilder, and then that kind of you leave that and so you have to move country, and you've laid roots down in that country for several years. It was decided because I heard he was going to Dubai. Oh no, he's not. He's going back to Egypt. He was maybe moving back to Kuwait.
But remember,
as well.
A lot of these people, maybe, it's a lot of just YouTube bloggers saying it. Like
no, he did. He was looking to move. Yeah,
okay.
I spoke to. I put it in my MD column because when Neil Hill was prepping him at the time, working with him, he said no, he's actually in Dubai at the moment. This was just after he'd left Kuwait, and then eventually they said he at the time I was told that he wasn't deciding where he was going.
So you still got William Bonac beating him.
Yeah, but he's more consistent. The thing is,
didn't you have William Bonac beating Philly in 2017? How many times you said that? And I said, what are you talking about? Okay, let's go on. Anyway, Big Ramy. So, put him next to Bonac. Why do you think Bonac beats Big Ramy?
He's just more complete. He's got better poses. He's more complete from the back. He's got better overall head-to-toe development from like the hamstrings, the glutes, the calves. Ramy and Bonac's front poses, that's their weakest. I like Ramy's, I don't know, I think he's top to toe, for me, he's a more complete physique. And if he sorted that leg injury out, and because he was about down to 225 or so at the Olympia. So if William can come back up to 230 plus, I think he'll take him out, yeah.
And then the American hero, the King Snake, Steve Kuclo.
Sixth place at the Olympia last year, sixth place at the Arnold last year.
What's he going to do on this Arnold Classic?
I just don't know where to place him.
Me either. For me, that's probably one of the hard... Because like with Lionel Bake, I'm expecting a win.
Yeah.
So with Steve Kuclo, the way he said...
It's a tough lineup, mate.
So with Steve Kuclo, where are we expecting him? Seriously.
I think he'll be around 5th, 6th again. But then there's a lot of people
There's a lot of people you just said 5th, 6th.
I know.
Nathan, Dexter.
I'm almost hoping a couple of guys are going to come in off. Because
Cedric.
Yeah.
Ramy, William, Patrick Moore.
AJ, if they're coming in, if there's any guys...
Oh, this Arnold is awesome.
I know.
He's really...
there's going to be great physiques at their best, not making top 6.
What's his name again that does it? It's not really Arnold who does all the planning. It's the... what's his name that does the Arnold?
Oh, Lorimer.
Great job.
Jim and Bob Lorimer. Yeah, fantastic.
Also, we have some newcomers. We have from France. We have 6'4", 300 pounds.
Morgan
super
Asti.
Freak Morgan Asti.
Okay.
What are we expecting to see there?
A big guy on stage.
Agree.
A very big guy on stage. He's huge. I've seen him. I've met him.
But he still hasn't filled his frame out yet to make a damage here, do you think?
6'4". That's gonna. I think it's I think it's a good move him doing a show like this. But I mean, as long as he turns up in condition, then you won't do yourself any. You'll be. It's not any shame. So.
Is that all the guys? I think that's most of the guys.
I feel like we've missed out.
I feel like we've missed
really
always because we don't.
Obvious.
Guys at home.
I can see the YouTube comments going.
Trolls, that idiot. We're calling us idiot. Who do we got? Okay, think 20 seconds without saying anything. Let's see if we lost anybody.
Microphone.
Yeah, I'm thinking now. I need the microphone to think.
You can hear the little. You can hear the cogs whirring in his head.
Is there anybody we missed? People at home are thinking these guys. They shout names now. They shout names. Shout it.
Boo.
I think that's all.
He doesn't get that reference.
Is that all? I think that's all.
Yeah, well, that'll do.
Yeah. Female physique, just quick all the classes. Female physique, we have Anne Moon from France.
Yes, Sarah Villegas.
We have Sarah Villegas that I'm expecting to win it.
Yeah.
Not even a discussion here. It's going to be lights out, slam the door, game over. It's going to be a woman that I met in Romania who's beautiful, of course, Valentina Michina.
She's awesome. She's one of my favorite women's physique.
Tall.
Yeah. I love
great condition.
I love her quads and I love her posing.
Posing to Madonna. She posed to Madonna, Frozen. Okay. So I almost started to cry in the audience.
Don't cry, AJ.
Beautiful posing. She's in it. The awesome Thai woman, Bangkok.
Pyongyang. It's the same name twice.
Say it one more time without butchering it. Pyongyang.
Pyongyang.
Okay, so
I've completely ruined that. We should have had
if
that. If
there's some Thai people listening, I'm sorry for butchering.
Very bad. Yeah, sorry.
Is she from Thailand or she's from America via Thailand?
I don't know.
No, she beat the other favorite going, Natalia Coelho, at the Rising. So if you can beat Natalia Coelho a week before the Olympia, and she didn't do the Olympia.
Yes, that's correct, yeah.
She's in it.
I wonder why.
And Natalia Coelho. So give us your top 5.
Coelho's got to be
Sarah Villegas winning.
Oh, yeah, Villegas. Coelho
second.
Yeah,
Valentina Michina third.
Yeah, third.
Pang Nang fourth.
And I think it'll be somebody new fifth.
And Anne Moon fifth from France. That's my top 5.
I think it'll be somebody new like Anne Moon in fifth.
Men's physique, we have Andre Ferguson and Brian Hendrickson. And we have our friend Carlos de Oliveira.
Kaiki.
I don't think the current Olympia champ Raymond is doing it.
Okay.
Those are my expecting to fight.
Yeah.
Is Ryan Terry doing it?
I don't know.
You're not sure?
No.
Obviously, we are very biased for Carlos, so we are hoping Carlos de Oliveira is winning it.
Yep.
He said to me he's treating this as the Olympia. He's going all in. But I think the people who's not as biased as us is probably looking for Andre versus Hendrickson.
Okay.
And there's a new ruling this year that you are supposed to downsize. Remember, Mr. Tyler Mannion sent out...
Yeah, some of the men's physique guys are getting too big for me. I just think, some of them are bigger than classic.
I like that, but it's the way it is.
No, not men's physique.
I love size no matter what class. So it's going to most likely, on paper, be a battle between Andre and Hendrickson.
Yeah. Brandon Hendrickson.
Both great physiques. Andre is bringing the intensity, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm going for Andre for the win.
Okay.
Who are you going for?
Brandon.
No. Hendrickson. And then we have bikini. Tons of girls.
Janet
Leo.
Yeah.
The Olympia champion is doing Isha Pacini.
She's amazing. She's my favorite bikini. She's amazing. I saw her at the Olympia. And
Justin Monroe, if you remember her name. Justine Monroe.
She's from Canada.
She's from Canada. She was popping a couple of years ago. She's coming back now.
She won the 2012 Prague.
Oh, so you saw her compete live?
Yeah, I went to was it the first or the second Prague show? 2012, and I was covering it with Natalia Mello for MD, and Dennis Wolf won. Dennis Wolf won, and Sean Roden was second. And I had Sean Roden.
Dennis Wolf and Sean Roden, that's a matchup.
And I said to Natalia Coelho, who won the Bikini Olympia 2012, I said, I've got Sean Roden winning, and she said, well, I've got Dennis Wolf winning.
Who won?
Dennis Wolf.
Oh.
Yeah, he looked fantastic. It was huge. That formidable bicep was just like cast a shadow over all the audience.
Figure class, Latoria Watts.
There's your winner.
And there's your winner.
Well,
relax. We got the beautiful, most epic Puerto Rican woman of all time. Jessica Padilla. She's
Jessica,
in it.
Yeah, she took 4th place last year. She took 3rd place at the Arnold Australia.
What do you think about her? Does she have the genetics?
Sorry, she won the Arnold Australia.
Can she beat Latoria if she's on, or is Latoria so genetically gifted that it won't happen?
Sorry, you took 3rd at the Arnold, and then she won the Arnold Australia.
Can she beat Latoria? Because you see them both on stage.
She can, yes.
She can.
She can, 100%, yeah. Jessica's a really hard worker.
She is, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's funny because she brought like 2 different looks to the Arnold in Arnold Australia last year. One was like a not totally shredded look, and then she went to the Arnold Australia and brought in a totally shredded look, and that won her the Arnold. But then there was a couple of girls that weren't there, you know.
And fitness class, nobody's is on the train harder than us for Missy Truscott.
Oh, love Missy.
Now pronounce the last right name
Missy
now.
Farrell, now Missy
No?
Truscott.
Yeah.
She's
You know,
lovely.
Matt at home doesn't like when we say the other name.
Yeah, she was second at the Olympia last year. We believe she should have won it over Whitney Jones.
Obviously.
Amazing routine, amazing physique, and we're on the Missy train.
So, but though, the legend of the ultimate legend, the king of kings, or the queen of queens, Oksana, she's coming back. Oksana Krishna.
Yeah,
She's coming back for the Olympia.
Kalim likes that.
She's also doing the rock show. When she said she's doing the rock show, I said, well, obviously she's going to do the Olympia now. She helped Missy Farrell. She coached Missy Truscott. She coached Missy Truscott.
Yeah, so they're competing against each other at the Olympia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe she'll stop returning her text. No, she's professional. Do you think
Who do you got at Olympia then? Missy or Oksana?
Oksana's unbeatable.
No, but you can't be on both teams. You got to choose one.
Oksana.
But what about Missy? It's our good friend.
Yeah, but Oksana's like, she's just, if she comes back.
Relax, producer. Stop this Oksana hype.
If she comes back
Missy's
90%, no, Missy's fantastic, but Oksana for me is like, she's the best.
The pride of Russia.
For me, she's the best fitness competitor I've ever seen in my life.
It will be a battle. It will be like Kai Green and Phil Heath at Olympia Stage and Fitness.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic battle seeing those two. Yeah, 100%.
And the last class we must not forget. There's probably some other classes, but
Classic.
2 classes left. Yeah, classic.
Classic.
Alex Campanero, Steve Laureus, Terence Ruffin.
Terence Ruffin. Yeah, he's putting a lot of size on.
Who we got?
Laureus. Caballero second, Ruffin third. Ooh. Yeah.
Why does Laureus beat Caballero and Terence Ruffin?
He's just taller, more conditioned. I saw him at the Arnold Classic last year. He took second place last year. Absolutely phenomenal physique. Yeah, he's only going to have got better from last year, working with Neil Hill as well. So he's going to be he was very good condition, beautiful poser. Felt like he needed a bit more back and chest, and he would have brought that up in the last year. But very classic.
I got Alex Campanero for the win.
Okay.
I just like his physique.
He looked good at the night show at the Olympia.
Really
Very
good.
Yeah.
Before we go, we got to give mention, obviously, they don't get so much attention. They should, because they work, not harder, because everybody works hard, but they work in a difficult serenity, what do you call it? Is King Kong Kelly in the wheelchair class.
Yes, yeah, he's fantastic. Amazing.
Yeah. You put all your money on him, wouldn't you, for the win?
Yes. Well, how is it, 17 or 18 pro shows he's won?
Out of 19, he lost one show. Wasn't that to your guy?
Yeah,
your friend?
He took third. No,
it
he took
your friend.
third place at that one, I believe. But but he's won. He wins them for fun, and he's so much bigger and more dense than everybody else. He's awesome, really nice, good guy as well, really nice guy.
Quick little Arnold Classic preview for you guys.
Yep. Okay then. I hope you've enjoyed this one.
Make sure to subscribe here. Is that where the button comes saying bing?
Ping.
Subscribe here.
Yeah, subscribe to Muscular Development. No, he said Instagram then.
And I really enjoy. And first, I watched our Mike O'Hearn interviews 27 times already by now.
I've only watched it 15.
Mike O'Hearn, to all you
AJ,
people,
I'm feeling it now.
all you people dissing him on Instagram
Yeah.
and YouTube, I've seen the comments.
Yeah. But AJ, in fairness,
Use that negativity towards yourself
and your training,
so you can rise in 2020. And let's go.
and be 1% as epic as Mike O'Hearn, because I'm feeling it now. So, okay, I hope you enjoyed this. Check out all the Arnold.
He's not natural.
Do you know what, AJ?
Natural.
AJ, the guy's 50 and he looks phenomenal.
Natural.
You right there, mate?
He's natural. It's all they cry about, bro. Who gives a F,
Who
bro?
gives a shit about
He's the
that?
man.
No, he's. Thing is, there's a lot of reasons to dislike the guy because he is so perfect. He reminds me of. You'll get this. Remember Drax over Thor? Remember when they Thor land? They catch Thor and he's unconscious and they start. He's a beautiful, muscular man. Drax, remember? Batista. I met Batista.
So this is your sexual fantasies revealing a little muscle right now.
Okay, it's probably a good time to go now.
And we are
we are definitely
out.
And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On The Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas, joined by my co-host, AJ, all the way from Norway. AJ, who are we joined by?
The second best bodybuilder of 2019, William The Conqueror Bonac. Yeah.
How are you, William?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Good. We've actually got two Williams in the studio here today. We've got little William.
Oh, the mini I don't know, idols. Yes.
I tell you what, that's actually, that and Dorian are my two favorite ones. I think.
It's a great doll.
Yeah. Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah. Have you got a life-size one or? No?
I got one at home as well.
Oh, they're cool. I think they're great.
Maybe you should walk around with it like Kai Green, on his lap. So how is it to become a new father again, Bonac?
It's busy, man. That's why, even right now, like, I have to hurry up, but I asked my girlfriend to pick them up, from school.
Mm-hmm. So Bonac, William, how was it 2019, the Olympia? We haven't spoken since then. Mm-hmm. It was you and Brandon Curry standing there when you were waiting for the announcement. What was, because this is probably one of your biggest dreams to win the Olympia, especially going from 212 to an open glass. Have you seen that before?
Had he?
Winning an Olympia from 212.
No.
What was going through your mind those seconds when Bob dragged it out as usual? What was going through your mind then?
Not really much. I was just numb and, just waiting for that moment, so nothing really was going through my mind. I was just, kind of numb, and just, just waiting for the result. Yeah.
Yeah. It was so.
Nothing really was. Yeah. Sorry.
So go on.
No, it's like it was. It was kind of, how you say it, excited as well. Mm-hmm. A lot of nerve breaking, but. I knew it deep in my heart that I didn't took the prize.
Oh, you knew it?
Oh, really?
I had that feeling. Yeah.
Really?
Why? Why did you have that feeling?
And when?
I had the feeling even before we stepped up on stage.
Wow!
Really? Why? Why is that? Why?
I don't know. Just had a feeling, man.
Okay.
Your instinct,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, last year there was so much apprehension going into the Olympia because obviously you did it without a coach, and the big question mark was like, because a lot of pros, they all have coaches, and it was like, William Bonac's such a big name. He's top 3 Olympia. He's going in without a coach. People were just kind of writing you off. So I was like, when you first came out, I was there. Obviously, when I came out, you came out the pre-judging. I was like, everyone was so relieved to see that you were like, you were just in fantastic condition. I mean, you're a little tiny bit. I mean, what, we were about 225, a little bit lighter this year.
Yes.
So did you like the new look?
I was lighter. I was lighter this year, but that wasn't something that I could really do anything about.
Yeah. In what? Why though? In what way?
There's circumstances, had some injuries, and so that was like out of my control.
Yeah. But I actually thought when, even though there was a little bit more streamlined, I felt like it improved some of your poses. Like the front double bicep has always been a good pose for you, but I feel like it made you look more aesthetic. I think it gave you more lines. If you really compare the photos, I think you look better. Your waist was smaller.
Yeah, that's true. It's just that I was missing a bit size.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still,
I was missing a little bit size. Yeah.
Still second.
But condition-wise, I felt that I was my best condition ever. And I know what I did to get there. So and nobody can tell me otherwise. Like, no, I've seen you better in condition. Nobody can tell me otherwise because I know the work that I put in for all my shows, and I know in which show I put more work in and which show I put less work in. So and I know that it was
I'll be honest. I felt really relieved when you turned to the back and you hit that rear double bicep. Because I was thinking, okay, he's sharp from the front. He's sharp. You always look great and thick from the side. I was like, please be sharp from the back, because that rear double bicep and your rear lat spread, those are your signature poses. Those. And I was like, because your glute, your hamstring tying, all that detail, it was still there. I was like, oh, thank God for that. I was so relieved. I was like, yeah, he's in the mix.
Yeah.
When did you
excuse
start?
me, you go on.
When did you start to prep for this Arnold Classic, the big one? The one
I started my prep, I think, about 14 weeks out.
Oh, 14. So you've not much time off.
Yes. Yes, I started like at 14 weeks out, because I wasn't sure if I was going to do the Arnold, due to my injury. And I didn't know if it was going to heal, by the time, that it wouldn't give me trouble or, setbacks in my placing. So, but eventually, I told the Arnold Classic team to wait till half December, because half December, then I will know more. So, when the time came, I felt good. My injury was recovering well, better than I thought. So I was like, okay, why not? And I was already prepping, for just in case.
Oh,
so
smart.
Okay.
Yeah. How is your injury now?
It's I'm almost rid of it, but it's like, let's say 90%, 95%. Still not 100%, but way much better than for the Olympia.
Okay, so that's a big gamble, isn't it? Surely, kind of going into such a big contest like the Arnold, if you're really not sure about the injury, so it hasn't hindered your training in any way, and it's feeling good.
No. In the beginning, it was like after the Olympia, it was like it was terrible, because that time I had like almost barely connection, in my legs, mind connection with my legs. So, but each week, it was getting better. I go to the physio. I have also massage therapy. So now everything is like, getting better. There's more blood flowing through it, so. And now I can control it. I can, when I say to my leg, get up, you will get up.
So, I mean, you took second at the Olympia. You've won the Arnold before. What was the reason for doing the Arnold? Because surely if you had an injury and you took second place, you've gone 15th, 8th, 3rd, 4th, second. Why do the Arnold? Why do the Arnold though?
Yeah, I wanted to win it last year. I wanted to win it last year so badly. I want like collect like trophies, just like Dexter. Like
Dexter.
There's more worth in the Arnold trophies. Of course, the Olympia trophy is the most worth one, but the Arnold trophy is, it's big as well, So why not? And I was like, okay. First, I wanted to take off, because I wanted, also what I told you, recovery. Plus, I wanted to grow, for the Olympia 220, to gain some size, and that's only possible when you stop doing shows. But and then I also had like a setback with my sponsor, because I had like to choose, if I would stay with them or not. Eventually I chose to leave because, we didn't came to agreement, So, and that was like also a point in I was like, okay, I got so many projects going on, like my gym in Ghana. Okay, that's already been paid off. I started also with an apartment in Ghana, and that one they already built it like to the first floor, not finished yet. So everything came like, okay, I need to get some money, to finish the projects. I can't just leave it like that, So that was one of my main reasons as well. Plus, I also bought a house in Holland.
Oh, nice.
Like a mortgage, So all this stuff needs to be paid, man.
Yeah. And, now he's got some extra money. You have to pay all them extra fees, to. Talk to more about the Ghana thing. Tell us more about that, because that's interesting. I love hearing bodybuilders putting money back in their home country. Tell me more about that. Why did you decide to do something in Ghana?
That's something that I always wanted to do, and it was just, the opportunities is there. It was just, I didn't have the budget for it. So I saved some money, put some money away, and throughout my business, I sponsored the gym. And I was like, I wanted to give. It's not that I'm gonna get money out of it, because you don't really, the people. If I put the same price they put here for there, it will be too expensive, So that's not what I'm going to do. It's just more to give back. I know I'm not going to get my money out of it for the next 50 years, but that's not the point. Yeah, it's more to give back, and to also to leave something behind. You understand? Like, okay, I did bodybuilding. and this is what this is what brought me here. This is what made me, So yeah, I want to give something back, and a gym is the best way. And when I was like 12 years old, I was in Ghana, and I saw the way the guys were training, me as well, with concrete and that kind of stuff. I'm like, they deserve better. Yeah, because in my opinion, you got a lot of athletes that you guys have never seen before. They have never touched supplement, protein, or whatsoever. Just from working, a little bit training here and there, But when you look at them, you will see like a genetic freaks, And you got so many of these guys walking around there, but they just don't have the opportunity, because they have to work and support for the family, So there's the issue there. A lot of these guys, walking around.
Everybody knows that African genetics is the best genetics for bodybuilding.
No, Welsh.
That's guaranteed. But the knowledge for the diet and supplementation and training is not there.
Yeah.
So, are you going to help them in any way? Are you going to be more involved?
I'm going to be more involved. There are already people before me who are doing a lot of great stuff in Ghana for the bodybuilding community, for other federation, but that's okay. We still can, find a way to work together. And for me, is to add, my contribution to that. Even if it's a gym, or if they can hold some shows in my gym, like strongman competition and these kind of stuff, because I kind of watch what's going on in Ghana, and I see like, a lot of young guys, they are looking for these stuff, but there's not much for us over there, and everything like here I'm putting William Bonac Classic, and you understand, and that kind of shows, and I can do that in Ghana as well. But I know, like yes, I can do these shows in Ghana as well, but I have to stick to the price. I have to stick to the price that the IFBB stick to. I can't go and change my own price.
Okay.
So that's the problem. And that price that I have to stick to, I swear to God, nobody can pay it. People like, so maybe you got from, let's say, 1 out of the 9 can pay it, but most people can't pay that, So you got to find a way for that.
So how often do you go back and forth to Ghana then?
But right now, I got my cousin who's like, arranging everything for me there, plus my uncle. So I communicate more throughout them, videos and calls. My mom is at the moment in Ghana as well, so she's also checking what's going on and making sure everybody's working. I go like last year I went there like 3 times.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's so
but
great.
This is difficult because I have to plan it, because every time I have to go for my sponsor to this place, or I have to go for the show, or my prep, so each time I have to like work around it.
So have you shut all the traveling down now until the Arnold Classic?
Yes, I don't have no traveling. Yes.
Yeah, good.
Yes. And then I was supposed to go there and open the gym, but I delayed after the Arnold Classic. Yeah. Because I have to be there, when they open it.
This Arnold Classic, you have for you, is it William Bonac versus Big Ramy for the title?
Yeah, I've said that in the show. Yeah.
For me, it's the same. Also, my friend Lionel Bieki.
Oh, you want Bieki in top 3?
For me, it will be Lionel versus Bonac.
He's a Bieki fanboy, William.
Lionel.
Yeah. Let's hope he stick to the plan this time.
Yes.
I hope so for him as well.
Where do you see you beating Big Ramy? What poses do you like yourself versus Big Ramy? William, Abdullah, we talked to Abdullah. He said he had all faith in you beating Big Ramy. He said a little bit better words, but
he said we asked him. I said, who have you got, William or Ramy? And he said William. by a mile.
Easy, he said.
Sorry, William. He said easy. And he looked straight in the eye. He was very serious.
Easy, bro.
Yes, Abdullah is.
So how do you look at that challenge?
About the postings, honestly, I don't really compare my. I don't compare the other competitors with myself. With posting wise, I just try to practice my posting and to perfectionize my posting, to be better, each time I get on stage. So, and the postings, we can say what we want, but it's not in our control, right? It's the judges who decided it, So,
the transition.
I can mention my best poses. Like for me, my best poses are like my back shots, like my back double biceps. Actually, my most muscular, because I won an award for that last year as well.
Yes.
So that must be pretty good.
At Arnold?
Yeah.
Yes, at Arnold.
I was worried when you won that one, because that means you're second.
Yeah, sometimes.
They give it out to the second place, you know.
Yeah.
So, aside, are you going to do the Arnold Australia as well with Tony Doherty?
No. I wanted to do that as well because it's like 2 weeks away, but I needed 2 weeks for that recovery for me, you know, for the Olympia as well. Plus, yes, and plus it's in the same week that I'm going for the that I'm going back to Ghana to open up the gym.
It's a shame because if you win the Arnold, then you're shooing to win the Arnold Australia as well, and that's like 40-50 grand extra. But more money to put into your gym in Ghana.
Yeah, but this is how, when you're a superstar, you only do the Ohio and the Olympia, and that's it.
Okay.
Bonac?
No, it's not like that. I love to do the Australian shows, and I just love to be in Australia as well. You know, because I love Melbourne.
Tony Doherty is a good
guy.
But
it's just. Yes, exactly. You know, so if I can support them, I will always support them. It's just this year it was just because I went there like 2 years on a row, you know, after the shows, you know. So this year was like, no, I need to fix that first.
Well, it's only fair that
after that I won't even have time probably, you know. So I have to do it now. Yeah.
Plus, it's only fair that you let Ramy win one as well, you know. If you go let him win the Arnold Australia.
And it's not. But it's not. But you guys saying Ramy this, Ramy that. But there are other guys as well.
Yeah, but we're looking at you
as well, man.
It's the Ramy. I think it's the Ramy and William. It's the Ramy Williams show.
And Biaki show.
Okay, we'll throw Biaki in there.
You guys forget Dexter. You guys forget. How you doing that? Patrick Moore. Who else?
Steve Cooklow.
Nathan is coming as well, right?
Nathan's coming.
And he's improved.
As well, right?
Nathan Diasha is improved.
Yeah, so that's there's more athletes, man, and Josh as well. Yeah.
Who else do you want?
You know this guy. And you know when he comes in condition.
Yeah. Josh.
So
Yeah.
He can go anywhere, man. Yeah. And he already placed third place, I think, already at the Arnold Classic in 2016 or not?
Third place, 2016. Yes, to Cedric.
Yes. Okay, you know so.
No,
to Cedric. Yes.
Kai,
Cedric,
then Josh.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
And I was impressed by him that year.
Yeah. By Josh or by who?
Yeah, by Josh.
By Josh that year. Yeah. So you know, a lot of things can happen, man. So let's make it exciting, not just me about it.
Oh no, that's what's
I feel like we've missed somebody out as well. A big name. I feel like we've really missed a big name.
Who else is doing it? There's everybody. Akeem Williams did great at Olympia.
Yeah.
He looked great at Olympia. Very overlooked.
He needs more size.
I think more shows.
I think the reason why we're hyping you and Ramy were people around the world is because now you placed 2 times second place. Big Ramy didn't once. No, to Arnold Classic and Olympia, you know, in 2000.
Oh, I see what you mean. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was thinking by myself, huh?
Yeah.
I thought I was third then second.
Olympia.
And Big Ramy is the person.
I missed the check.
Yeah.
Big Ramy, along with Rolly Winkler, is probably the biggest what if. You know?
Yeah.
And Big Ramy's been away for a year, and he has a huge fan base, and he has the size that you cannot even imagine, you know?
That's true.
People want to see. Whoever wins that show will be the main threat to Brandon Curry if Phil doesn't come back. So that's why we're building it up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good.
I was expecting a big speech there. You went, no. Very cool and collected there.
Yeah. Have you done any changes in your training or diet for this, Arnold? Is there any changes that you usually don't do that you're doing for this prep?
Eating more.
Okay.
Eating, getting more meals in. So
do you feel more
and less cardio?
Oh wow. Okay.
Less cardio and eating more.
Is that because you stayed in relatively better condition after the Olympia, or is it a longer prep?
Yes, I stayed in good condition, and I grow into my prep.
Okay.
You know, so I grow into my prep in off season.
Yeah.
I'm lighter than on stage. You know. So,
oh wow. Okay.
Wow.
That's better for health, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Is it for health reasons you do it?
From that. It's just how my system works, you know, and it happens to be, you know, healthy, so it's good for me as well. Wow. And before, you know, I had a problem with it because I saw all the guys in off-season looking huge. I was like, I want to be like that as well. And until like in my prep, I got like 112 kg or 114 kg, and I couldn't breathe no more.
And that's a lot on 5'6", 5'7". How old are you? Tall are you?
Yeah, 5'7". Yes.
You know what?
And then I was like, nah. Yeah.
What's strange
is I was like, nah, this is not for me.
You know
no problem. Go on.
What's so strange is when Sean Ray always calls William Bonac the short one on screen, when Sean Ray is the same height as you. I'm like, Sean.
He's not the same height as me. Stop. Sean is not the same height as me. I'm taller than Sean.
You're taller than Sean Ray.
I'm taller than Sean Ray.
Both 5'7", I thought. Are you not both 5'7"?
I've stood next to Sean. Sean is not taller than me.
Why is he calling you the short one all the time then?
I don't know. That's what he always say. I post small and I post
and he said Flex Lewis had a better rear lat spread.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And I said, Sean, wait. He was on this show and I said, Sean, what are you saying? I mean, Flex has a beautiful physique, fantastic rear bicep, but his rear lat spread is not his best point. He says, no, Flex Lewis's rear lat spread is better than William Bonac. I went, what? I said it on the show. I was like, what are you talking about? Have you seen him? You know,
it's his opinion, you know.
I know.
He's a Hall of Fame, right? Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
He has the right to say anything that he wants, you know, and people buy it, you know. So
okay.
It's okay.
So I mean, now you're going. Are you going into the show again without a coach, like just literally a training partner helping you and having people? Are you feeling more confident going into the show, knowing that you've done it and achieved it at the Olympia?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah. You feel more confident. Well, because you had your best placing and you did it without a coach. So.
Yeah. And but all the times, you know, that was like needed a lot of for me. You understand, vice versa. You know, but I gotta tell you, like, and that's a lot of people. That's why I was like, you know, like me, I don't like the spotlight and all the stuff, you know, the shines, you know, like everybody can take the credit, you know, and that was the problem between us. I didn't like that spotlight, and people were taking too much credit for what they were doing, you know, and I was like, this is not what you are doing, you understand? I'm doing this. You get me? So, and there's a lot of people, the coaches, of course, you know, coaches, it's like a navigation system in a car. That's it. You understand what I mean? You know, nothing more. And that navigation system, you give the navigation, the direction, like, okay, I want to go to this place. If the navigation doesn't know you want to go to this place, it can't bring you there. Understand? So I see a coach like a navigation place, and, you know, but some of them, they claim too much credit, you know, so, yeah.
Last one,
I heard a story once where someone told somebody to eat a potato, and then when the guy won his show, he tried to take credit and say he prepped him. So I swear to God, that is a true story. He said eat a potato with this meal, and then he took credit for when he won his show. Exactly, it's crazy. But it elaborates on his point.
Just one question. We're not going to mention any names. This is not to call anybody out, but what are you feeling when some of the past legends keep on criticizing the Mr. Olympia champion, saying there was nobody there and things like, you know, you've heard it.
Yeah.
What goes through your mind then?
I think, like, what do I have to say? Now I have to be careful with what I say.
Yeah, because we're not mentioning any names.
Yeah, I know you. Just say it, man. Ronnie Coleman, right? You know, just say it. You know, you don't have to. Right? You're talking about
Dorian. I'm thinking about Dorian. I'm thinking about Dorian.
Ronnie and Dorian. Yeah, Ronnie and Dorian. Yeah. So, you know, like these guys, they did great back in the day. You understand? They did a fantastic job because they are pioneers, and you know they were before us, so we gotta respect them. But we only can respect you if you also show respect towards us.
Correct.
We are following your footsteps. You understand what I mean? So you bringing us down, you bringing yourself down as well. Understand? So, yeah, to me, it's like, I think like they didn't really think about the question and just, you know, they heard the question and just group.
Yeah.
Understand? I think if he took a moment, like maybe a few seconds, you know, he would like give a other answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he got tricked. They got tricked as well with the question because he probably didn't even expect it. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
That's very fair-minded, William. Very fair-minded.
Yeah.
No, that's
You
good.
know,
That's
so-
good. Final question.
Because I've met Dorian, and I'm still a fan, no matter what he says, And I love Brendan.
Well, hang on a
Brendan is
minute.
my brother,
Yeah.
So, and I will always come up for Brendan, no matter what. You understand? So, but yeah, Dorian, he said that, and it's okay. Let's move on, man. You understand? It's,
And for the
because
interest,
people like to make it a lot of dramatic.
Yeah.
You understand? A whole drama show out of it. Oh, Dorian said this. Oh, Ronnie Coleman said this. Oh, Brandon replied to this. They're making a whole.
I love it.
The fake accounts on Instagram, people are writing.
Yeah.
We know about
I
those.
swear to God. I can do a post today. I do a post right now. I'm doing a post or something like that. Involves with other bodybuilder or whatsoever. Within 2 minutes, that post will be on YouTube.
Yeah.
It will be on one of the YouTube channel of one of these guys. You understand? So that's how they eat. So
And also to balance out the thing that Dorian said, he did when we came on our show. Dorian, well, I told you this. Dorian said, "Who have you got for the Olympia?" And
William
he said, "William Bonac."
So
I know that you told me.
So it's all good. It's all good. It all balances out.
I appreciate it.
We're looking.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Good luck these 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
we're looking
less. Which was what,
6.5 weeks. I'm sorry.
6.5.
We're 6.5.
7 weeks. This Saturday, 7 weeks.
7 weeks.
Saturday.
We can't wait to see you on stage, William. One of the front runners
Thank
for the
you.
win, and it's going to be
Thank you, man.
exciting.
And also another thing, people
you.
seem to be forgetting William's name in the Best Poser Award. Because everyone's saying it's either going to go to Sergio, Patrick Moore, or Josh, last year's winner.
Yeah.
And no one mentioned William, and William is probably the best classical poser in the Open Pros right now.
This is because
Thanks.
the winner never gets those rewards. That's just side awards.
Yeah, but that's 20 G's, mate.
Well, it's better to get the first prize,
Well,
Well-
10. I think 10 G.
10 G, okay.
Okay.
Well, maybe this year you'll get first place, most muscular, and the best poser.
Wow.
And then you can have a super gym in Ghana.
that would be something, eh?
William,
Thank you, guys.
I didn't want to keep you too long because I know you're on prep, mate, and it's
Yeah.
like I really appreciate the fact you coming on, and it's a huge boost for our show to have the big names so close to the show. So thank you once again for coming on and being so open and honest. And I know what it's like pre-contest. It's tough, and it's So we just want to thank you for coming on, mate. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank
Bye-bye.
you for inviting me.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, William. See you in Columbus.
See you. Peace.
Yeah. Here is it? Yeah, hang on. Just keep. Yeah.
Okay, we have so many people now. So that was William
The Conqueror Bonac. Little William.
going for most. Easy question. Do you have him for the win, yes or no?
Yes. Yeah.
And we are out.
Yes. Oh, okay. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas, joined by my co-host, AJ, all the way from Norway. And AJ, who are we joined by?
The special one, Wesley Vissers.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Really?
we've got little Wesley here as well. Little baby Wesley.
Looks great.
Yeah.
They did a good job.
They did some of them. That one it looks very real.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
It's an awesome company who does that.
Iron. What's the company again?
Iron Idols.
Yeah. So Wesley.
Yeah.
2020 just started, and you already qualified to the Olympia. How are you feeling for 2020, Wesley?
Oh, that's amazing. It was my goal to qualify as early as possible, of course. That was the entire goal, so we could finally have a fresh start to really compete at the Olympia, to have a really nice long prep, which I didn't have last time, which is why I couldn't really bring the look I wanted to. So to qualify almost a year in advance, that's just amazing. So I can really make some gains to show on the Olympia stage.
I'm not going to say 2020 was a disappointing year for you, but for us Wesley Vissers fans, I think we were... You all right? You okay? Sorry. We were Yeah, sorry, a bit distracting there. But what was I saying? Right, start again. Fucking hell. What were you doing? What were you doing? You were doing something then. Let's start again. Sorry, I fucked that up. Miles away. Rusty.
1 second, Wesley.
Sorry, mate. Can we just edit that out?
Yeah.
Because that was very distracting. Okay. Count us back in. Now, with 2019, I wouldn't say it was a disappointing year for Wesley Vissers fans, but you went to the Arnold Classic. You took 10th place there. And I think we were all, I was disappointed you didn't place higher because I felt you deserved higher. But that was a very sneaky move doing that show, because you really, really pulled it out the bag. That was probably your best condition yet. What show was it again you did in November, wasn't it?
The Romania Pro.
Romania.
You didn't see my stories. Did you hear me shouting, Wesley?
I did. Very clearly.
You really nailed it for that show. Would you say that was your best condition yet since because I felt the other best condition was when you turned pro in March 2018 at the Royal London Pro. And you kind of struggled with your condition. I mean, even when you won Chicago, was it Chicago, wasn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you won Chicago, your condition still, even though you won and you qualified for the Olympia, it still could have been better. So are you really happy now that you finally really nailed your condition at that Romania Pro?
Oh, yes, for sure. I think in between turning pro and now, I just needed the time to build more muscle mass, because in your head, you always want to be as close as possible to the weight limit, of course. You don't want to be too far below. And with the first show, the Royal London Pro, I was only allowed to weigh 108 kilograms. Okay. So I had to force myself to come down. So automatically, my condition was pretty good there. But this time at the Chicago Pro and the Olympia, and even a little bit at the Arnold, I still wasn't at that weight limit yet, but I still wanted to fill myself out until hitting that weight limit. So automatically that meant less condition, but more fullness, which nowadays I don't look for anymore in the classic physique class. So now with more muscle mass, I was able to really creep up to that weight limit, but with a much better conditioning. And I also played it a lot more safe. I didn't carb load that much at all. I kept it very safe. So I really was going for the conditioning game this time and not the fullness, and that really paid off. I'm really very glad it did.
So as a pro, how many kilos can you be on stage at your height?
112. 112 kilos.
112, and you are literally bang on the limit.
I was still a little bit below, actually, because we weighed in at the evening, and I was still wearing my vest, my T-shirt, and my pants even, and I weighed 246 pounds, which is a little below 112 kilograms. So I still could probably gain 1 or 2 kilos of solid muscle.
So on stage, maybe 110. So, I mean, you're a tall guy, but even still, to be able to have 3-4 more pounds, it still gives you room for further improvement as a classic in terms of muscle mass, not just in terms of refinement.
Yeah, for sure, especially when I put it on the weaker body parts, because I think my upper body from the front looks pretty good and from the side as well. But it's the lower body that really needs the attention. And when I put those pounds exactly where they need to go, my physique will look very different, that's for sure.
Did you notice his legs were better at Romania than they were at the other shows in 2019? Do you think that's where the gains went to? Because I remember when I saw the picture of that you won at Romania, and the first thing I noticed was your legs were, firstly, they were better conditioned and they were slightly bigger, especially around the teardrop. What do you think?
I'm not sure, because I looked at the whole physique. I didn't just focus really on the legs. Because the legs are the body part that, because you're a tall guy, yeah? So just a little bit more there, but to me they looked fine. Okay. But it was the whole physique that stands out with Wesley for me. So but when I look at pictures at your main threat, Bumstead, you need a little bit more legs, yeah. But now, Giles, as he said, condition is what wins shows at Classic, in the Classic class. What do you think Wesley needs to do to challenge Bump? Because I'm looking at Wesley not to place top 5, top 4, top 3. I'm looking at him from going for the win.
Well,
what does he need to do? What does he need to do to battle Bumstead and Brion?
Okay, let's take how Wesley looked at the Arnold Classic last year. He was 10th place, And to be honest, his condition wasn't perfect, but size-wise, he dwarfed everyone in terms of size. In fact, he didn't even look like a classic. He looked like a super heavyweight. But it was just that conditioning. So for me, obviously, just needs condition and balance. That's it. I mean, he can't really fit any more size on because of the weight limit. So I think really just go for overall balance and just try and get that conditioning for the Olympia. Is that the goal for 2020?
Yeah, is that the goal?
Oh, yes. The conditioning you saw at the Romania Pro is still nothing compared to what you will see at the Olympia, because now I know exactly what I need to do to bring that conditioning. So now I can go even deeper. I know exactly how the prep went the last time, so I can make the right steps to make it go even more efficient, even better, with the added muscle mass that will bring an entirely different physique. So I'm really excited for the Olympia to stand next to the top guy in that class. That's my ultimate goal, to really be compared to Chris Bumstead. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Can you share us a little bit when you say you finally now realized how to get that conditioning? What does that mean? What did it take you? What is the extra things you did to nail that extra condition that you did for the Romania Pro?
Well, it's always the case of simply sticking to the basics and not overthinking things. That's what a lot of bodybuilders nowadays try to do. But it's simply all about starting to prep earlier than normal so that you're safe, so you don't have to push anything in the last few weeks. Because that's what I used to do. That, I noticed I want to see certain details in my legs. If I don't see them 3 weeks out, you have to push yourself too deeply, and then you can't properly carb up, because then you get a rebound effect in the wrong way, like an overly rebound effect where you get water retention, and that's not what you want. So taking it slow and pretty much being condition ready 3 weeks out already, and then slowly maintaining that, and you will automatically become better and better, filling out those muscles a little bit more. But simply don't overdo it. The only cardio I did is simply walk outside for an hour in the morning, fasted every single day, did nothing extreme, just dropped the carbs every single time that my weight stalled and my conditioning stalled. So at the end, the month before already, I was in better condition than at the Chicago Pro, for example. So that already brings a lot of peace of mind, and with no stress, you look a lot better as well. So all little things combined really bring up much different physique. So this time I can make that process even more efficient. So that's what I'm going to do.
Were the changes you made for the Romania Pro prep because of maybe the mistakes you made for the Arnold Classic prep?
Yes, at the Arnold Classic, it also went wrong at the end, because I figured out I have quite, I'm tall, so I've got a lot of muscle mass, and it simply needs something to hold that fullness. Because even though if you're very conditioned and you're flat, you won't look as conditioned as you truly are, because nothing is pushing against the skin. So I noticed that one simple ingredient, the sodium and the salt, normally a lot of bodybuilders like to cut it out entirely, weeks on end. But I noticed that during the Arnold Classic, when I did that, even though I was conditioned, I simply couldn't get a pump backstage, and it didn't look good. I was too flat. My abs didn't show, even though there was no fat on them. But if there's nothing pushing against the skin, it's just going to look like a flat sheet, and that's not what you want. You want something pushing against the skin to give you contrast of the muscles, of the muscle bellies. So I kept the salt in all the way until the day of the show, and that really made a big difference as well, combined with having even less fat, less water retention, and that really made a difference for me.
I mean, without sodium, there's no water in the muscle, so it's not a full muscle. I did that for my first ever prep. I cut salt out weeks out. I was weak, flat, and then I put it back in, and my muscle just looked completely different. So, yeah, fantastic.
So you're doing no shows in 2020 other than Olympia, correct?
Exactly. That is my prime.
Oh, okay. Nothing. No warm-up shows. No Tampa.
No. He's a big man. He just needs one show to come in perfect condition.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. The mistake I made last time was simply doing a show right before the Olympia, and I can only peak really good once. And there was enough time in between the Arnold Classic and the Romania Pro that gave me a little bit of an off season to really reset everything and then go back into prep mode. And that allowed me to look a lot better at the Romania Pro than all the other shows before. So I imagine that this time the Olympia will have the same effect, but then to an even greater extent.
You were a lot quieter because I was surprised to hear you were doing the Romania Pro, because it's like you kept it. Because normally you're like, okay, 6 weeks out from the Arnold, 6 weeks out from the Olympia. You're normally you didn't really post that much. I didn't really see anything. You weren't on our radar for doing the Romania Pro. So when you did it and you won it, I was like, wow, I didn't know Wesley was doing that. It was a big surprise.
When I saw him in Romania, because I didn't know you were doing it, and I saw him walking around in that looking tall with tanned up, and I knew. Oh, Wesley, it's gonna be lights out. You knew it, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what was a plan, and I was surprised when I actually saw the competitor list of Romania Pro. I simply saw a lot of names I honestly didn't really recognize. I had no idea who was going to compete. I was just like, okay, I want to do a show that's close to home, so I don't have the jet lag and stuff like that, the same time zone pretty much.
Yeah.
And I don't care who's going to compete. I'm just going to show up my best possible condition, the best possible shape. And that really worked out. And the reason why I didn't tell anyone is nowadays with social media, whenever you post a picture, people will have their opinion ready for you. And I just wanted to experience what it was like to still post my pictures and my videos without them thinking I'm doing a contest. So without their opinions about how I should look that many weeks out, because I just wanted to experience what it was like to do a show without anyone pretty much knowing. And it felt pretty good because I was still able to do everything, still be transparent about how I look without having the pressure of people, telling me, oh, you should look a lot better this many weeks out, because that has happened to me a lot with the other shows. When they compare myself to other guys who compete in the same show, they say, oh, they look much better than you right now. So I just didn't want to experience it this time, just to see if it would make a difference, mental state-wise. And it pretty much did, because I like that feeling. I like to be, to go into the show really fresh, no one expecting me to do anything. And to win it then, that really was a surprise to a lot of people. So that was great.
I think it was only one picture I remember seeing. It was a side shot. And I think, was it 1 week or 2 weeks out from Romania? That was the best conditioned picture I'd ever seen of you.
Thank you. Yeah, that was because then you combine the pump of the gym with pretty much almost no fat.
Special lights.
I pretty much always want to just transport myself when I have a pump right to the stage. That's when I look the very best. So I always look very.
A little bit mixed feelings with that, Wesley. First, there were no real. Okay, the guy who got second place in the show, he just turned amateur, won his pro card that day. Man from Asia, very short, so obviously it was, with the comparison, it wasn't even a discussion. But what's good, what's good about it was you brought your best package, so it doesn't matter who was there if there wasn't a top lineup or not. But I'm just saying, if you told people before you were going to compete, you have a lot of fans in Europe, Wesley. And to see him compete, it's not for us in Europe. Yeah, it's really special. So you didn't announce it, and if you'd announced it, you had a lot of fans and friends, especially fans in Europe, that would take in the flight just to see you, Wesley. So it's a little bit. You got to.
It's always
It's
always pick and choose. Indeed, yeah. Sometimes. All the other shows I did announce, and I always show the entire prep on my video. So I always try to show everybody how everything is going. But sometimes you have to choose for yourself, especially when it's about the qualification for the biggest show on the planet. I simply wanted to do that 100% correctly. And now that I did, I will once again show everybody exactly how I'm going to prep for this show, and to give as much content as possible, of course, to provide value for them as well, because that also is important. That's very right.
One thing I maybe think people don't realize is that you only turned pro in March 2018. You're such an established name, Wesley, and he's only been going shy of 2 years, and you've already done an Arnold Classic, two Arnold Classics or one Olympia, one Arnold Classic. Two Arnold Classics.
One Arnold Classic.
One Arnold Classic.
One Olympia.
And a pro win in Chicago. So you're doing pretty well considering you're only 2 years in.
But we need more recognition in America.
2 pro wins. Sorry.
Then in America, they're not completely on the team yet, like we are. The Americans need to get more on the team. That for 2020.
That's very true. That's what I notice every time that I do. Well, exactly. At least not with the Chicago Pro. That's the only time where I felt okay. And that was also the second show I ever did as a pro, first winning the pro card and then the Chicago Pro. And then I was first. I was like, oh, maybe they do like this physique. But then, then of course at the Olympia and at the Arnold Classic, I wasn't placed as I thought I could have placed. So then you were like, okay, maybe the Americans still need to be convinced of my package. So that's why I'm now going to bring a package to the Olympia that cannot be denied. That's the only way for me to break through, to really have them notice me. And that's what bodybuilding nowadays is about as well, to get noticed to the judges.
So 2 years as a pro, you've won 2 pro shows. How old are you now? 26, 27?
26.
26. So have you given any more thought to how long you'd like to stay as a classic?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Honestly, I know we talked about the last time about possibly perhaps doing the Open in the future.
Yes.
But I proved to myself once again that I can be a winner in the classic physique class, and I still have a lot of room to grow even within this class in terms of how I look on stage. Yeah. So I first want to maximize this to its fullest potential. So the only reason why I would switch classes is when I'm honestly looking at myself and I think, okay, this is the best package you could possibly bring to the Olympia stage in the classic physique, and then not placing in the top 5 at all. So I wouldn't have any chance to place higher. Then it might be wise to switch classes. But I have a feeling that that's not going to happen. I think this time, very different from last time.
Like George the Bull, he'd switch when he couldn't really place any higher because he brought his best package, you remember?
Yeah.
And he couldn't. And Wesley hasn't brought his best package yet.
The thing is, though, if he's still got a few pounds to play with, I mean, physiques can still get better at the same body weight. Or around there. Look at Sean Ray. He kept his body weight pretty much the same for a whole 13 years, but his physique got better and better and better. More refined, more balanced, more symmetrical.
Like
more
Flex Lewis,
more detail. Yeah, Flex Lewis. Yeah. Another good example. Yeah.
I agree. You can. That's what I'm actually doing this off season. I'm staying the same weight, but I'm looking better and better at the same body weight. So that's all about really, it's not proven yet, of course, but changing how the muscle looks, muscle maturity, just making sure to hit heavy weights, but not necessarily getting way heavier, because for me, I still have to lose that weight anyway if I get too heavy. So it's all about repetitive motion of those muscles, get the quality much better and grow into the weight. So losing body fat, gaining muscle mass at the right places, and then indeed looking better at the same body weight. That's my goal for this off season.
So you also want to go slightly up in body weight in the off season. You don't kind of go down and then grow into the show. You just go maybe 10, 15 pound over off season?
Yeah, right now I weigh around 270 pounds, a little higher. So I'm allowed to weigh
very lean too. A lean 270 pounds.
Yeah, relatively lean indeed. But I always notice that when I prep for a show, especially in the last few weeks, or the last 2 weeks, in terms of water weight, you still lose a lot of weight in general. So always when I think, I'm not going to make weight, I still weigh like 255 pounds 3 weeks out. 1 week out, it's already all disappeared already. So I never really worry about making weight, because it kind of depends also on when the weigh-in is. If it's in the morning, it's not going to be a problem at all, because I weigh a lot less in the morning than in the evening. But even if it's in the evening, then you simply have to manipulate your food to weigh in at the correct weight.
So what's in pounds? What is your maximum weight on stage?
112 kilos?
No, I want 112. I don't want to work it out. Times 2.
I have no idea.
Do you know what it is in pounds, Wesley?
That's 247 pounds at stage that I'm allowed to.
That's still a pretty big guy, because you're 6'3".
6'4".
Yeah. 6'2" and a little bit. That's what
He's adding inches.
A lot of people on the muscle development forums, some of us who likes the mass monsters, we always say, Wesley, when are you going to start eating beef? Are you still only eating fish this off-season?
That's true. Yeah. I've only been eating fish for
I didn't know this.
5 years now.
Well,
5 years without any meat. Yeah.
5 years without having meat.
Why? What reason?
Well, I know this. For example, because I'm quite tall, I weigh a lot. I need to eat a lot of food, and I need to digest easily.
Yeah.
And a lot of bodybuilders also say, when I have my steak meal, that's digesting the least efficient. That's always when you have a meat type based meal, that digests the least efficient. And when I eat fish, 2 hours later, I'm ready to eat again. So white fish digest really easily for me. And by the way, my last name is Vissers, and that literally means fisherman. So that's.
But one thing, Giles, you had something to say on that.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that at all. Because, I mean, from my own perspective and from what I've known, like chicken and beef for off-season, you're better off having... But the thing is, you want faster digestion when you're prepping to speed up your metabolism. So, like, fish is a great thing to switch to when you get in condition. But if you feel you can put lean mass on with it, I mean, that's... I just think I get bored of eating that much food in the off-season. Pre-contest, you're okay with it, but that's a lot of food.
He doesn't eat for taste. He eats for results.
Okay. Okay, I'll let you off then. No, I just thought I've never heard that before, Wesley. That's the reason.
So 5 years you only been eating fish, but no beef, chicken at all, just because you want it, or?
I honestly, some people hate the taste of fish, and I'm the other way around. Some people, when they go to a steak restaurant, they really look forward to having that steak. I never really liked that at all. So when I stopped eating meat, and that was for a contest, I switched to fish as well. I never really had the inclination to move back to meat because I didn't miss it at all, and I still made good gains. I felt great.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I actually like before I went pro, a few years before, I actually didn't eat any animal-based products at all, just to try it out. I always experiment with foods. I used to do that a lot more back in the day. But I noticed for a contest, you simply need an animal protein source because a plant-based protein, you cannot get that without the added fat or the added carbs. You cannot have dry weight protein in plant-based sources. So I switched to a fish source for the contest. And ever since then, I never switched back to meat or anything. So I always take the fish. So I come on it with salmon, codfish, pollock fish, tuna. For me, that's a lot of options as well.
Yeah. So what were you, when you're on your plant-based protein, what protein sources were you eating and how much of it? Because you have to get a lot of protein from a lot of food as a plant source.
A lot of nuts and
What were you eating?
You always combine different foods like beans, and you have a lot of meat substitute products as well in the supermarket. Here, that's pretty big.
Okay.
Here, they taste actually pretty good. So then you get like the imitation chicken pieces. They are also 20 grams of protein per 100 grams.
Very expensive.
And,
this is a very expensive diet he's doing, because in Europe, these are, well, you live in Europe too. It's very expensive, this vegan type of substitute things. It's very expensive.
That is very expensive. And I noticed as a competitive bodybuilder, that wasn't doable because you have to eat so much.
Yeah.
And, vegetables and stuff, you always eat anyway. So that wasn't the problem. It was the protein that you need to get in your diet. And that was almost impossible using that diet. But I simply wanted to have experienced it, because I also help other people who simply are vegan for other reasons and still want to be a bodybuilder. So having experienced this does help them as well.
Did you have any stomach or digestion issues with that?
Yeah, when you combine rice with bean, especially.
Okay.
Yeah.
So take us through this off-season for people who want to try a fish off-season diet. Tell us how much fish and what type of fish for a regular off-season day like today.
So I have 4 fish meals in a day. So I eat 6 times a day, and the first meal will simply be oatmeal, and the last meal would be quark or yogurt added with whey isolate, for example. So those 2 meals are no fish meals, but the other fish meals are, 3 are the same. So it's simply rice, different types of vegetables, and then a white fish. That can be codfish, pollock fish, tuna. I always try to mix it up and marinate it with different spices and herbs, so it always tastes different. And one meal is always a big salmon steak. So that's very delicious for me. I always do it fried in a pan on the skin. Just tastes very delicious, and it's a very healthy fat source as well. That's always my day. So that's every single day I have a salmon meal of 300 grams, so that's pretty substantial.
300 grams, yeah.
I always notice my muscle look like with like either steak or salmon. I look fuller, more vascular, just from the fats. The carbs I never got that effect from. But once you switch to the protein and fats, I feel like your skin improves. Your muscle looks fuller and it looks healthier. Your skin.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people think they only need carbs to fill out, but all the cells have their membranes around them, and those are comprised of fatty acids. So if you're not, if you're fat deprived, those will slink down as well, and you will look a lot flatter and look, feel a lot less healthy and energized as well. Healthy fats is a must in a bodybuilding diet.
Big time. Okay.
Last question. What's your prediction for this Arnold Classic class? Give me your top 3.
Well, I think it's going to be a battle between Steve Laureus and Rough Diesel, I think, for the first place.
Oh, yeah.
I think those, they are
AJ's got someone
different.
Sorry.
They are different physiques.
Yeah.
The one is tall, the one is short, the one can pose incredibly, and the one poses very powerfully, like Steve does with his enormous biceps, of course. So if he utilizes those strong points in a correct poses, he can make so much, can make his physique so much greater than it can be on stage, because he has such strong body parts. That's a throwback to the true golden era of the 70s, like having those enormous biceps, which almost nobody today in the classic physique class has, apart from Brian Ashley, for example. But Steve is even on another level above that.
So,
and
who have you got, Laureus or Ruffin, for the win?
I think it's going to be Laureus, because he is more muscular, in totality, more massive on stage. But combined with his, Rough Diesel on his own looks incredible. But the height sometimes, just like with Keone Pearson, he looks incredible on his own. And you think, well, that guy's going to win. But when he stands next to someone who is as conditioned as him and has classic lines as well, but he is like 5 inches taller, it's simply going to be very difficult to beat a guy like that.
Completely agree. Who you got?
I got Alex Cambonero taking it.
Ooh.
Oh, yes, he's also very good.
Yeah, he went from the 212 class down to the classic, and he's working with Neil Hill for a full year now. He's training with Flex Lewis and John De La Rosa. He's training like he's never trained before. I've seen his waist. Bro, it's going to be lights out.
I saw him at the Olympia, and in the judging, I didn't really notice him. And then at the night show, I was like, I changed my mind. I went, actually, now I've really paid attention to his physique. He just looked absolutely tremendous. What a fantastic classic competitor.
From Terrence and Loris, if it's them, I'm going with Steve Loris.
Yeah. Second place last year.
Yeah, it's just a bigger guy, and and he has that classical, with the little blonde hair and the bicep shots, and it's what we want. It's one we want to see.
Yeah, that's a solid top 3, isn't it, Wesley?
Yeah, I agree for sure.
Well, thank you, Wesley. For me personally, I seen you turn pro. I see you winning. I saw you once Romania. I hope to see you win the Olympia, Wesley. That would be. That will make my Weslly trilogy. That's a nerd thing, isn't it? Perfect. Trilogy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I want to see you first call out at the Olympia. That's my
first call out.
That's first call out.
Of course.
First call out. That's what I want to see.
That's my goal too.
Yeah.
I think if I end up in the first call out, then everybody's opinion will also change about how I could do at the Olympia, because then you can see how it could look like next to the best of the best. That's my goal, and if I end up in a top call out, I know I will place very well then. So let's do that. Let's go for that one.
Nail the condition. Come in at bang on 112 kilo. You'll be first call out. I guarantee it.
And remind us something before we go. What are we gonna do? We gotta.
Don't forget to stay golden.
Yeah!
And we are.
And we are out. Okay, thank you, Wesley. Bye-bye.
No
Bye-bye. 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 Oh, there we are. Yep.
Producer, who says it best? Say it, and I'll say it. So you can decide.
Microphone.
Say it.
Don't forget to stay golden.
Don't forget to stay golden.
It's a bit gay. Okay, big thank you to Wesley Vissers, and really excited to see his return at the Olympia and finally see him as first call out at the Olympia. So fantastic win at Romania. Yeah, great to catch up with Wesley there. So okay, AJ, and we are out. And next up on Global Muscle Star Profile, who do we have, AJ?
We have Tyler Jordan.
Jordan, yeah, give him a round of applause. Come on. One of our very valued viewers.
We wanted to interview you as a pro, but since you didn't do it last year, we had to make a new future to get you on the show, bro.
Hey, 2020, we're coming, guys. 2020.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I've been looking forward to this for a long, long time. Just so you guys know, name's Ty Jordan. That's short for Tyler Jordan Schumann. NPC super heavyweight bodybuilder, aspiring IFBB pro, and based out of Kansas City, Missouri, here in the States.
Okay.
So tell us about your competitive 2019. Tell us about your results.
Well, guys, 2019 was kind of a comeback year for me. In the later part of 2017 and 2018, I was actually working on an independent movie opportunity.
Oh, wow.
That film has yet to be released yet, but when an opportunity comes about like that, you've got to jump all over it because obviously here in the bodybuilding world, financial opportunities are pretty fickle. So hopefully I do have a movie to tell you about a little bit later, but for now, 2019 was a comeback year for me. I jumped into one of the bigger regional shows in the Midwest, the 2019 NPC Midwest Championships in St. Louis. And just so you guys know, this year they're actually going to be running an IFBB Pro Show in conjunction with that. So on the radar. But anyways, I took a win in the super heavyweight class there. I took a close second in the overall to a competitor that did go on to, I believe, take second or third at this year's USA. So, respectable result there. I went on to do the Junior USA in Charleston, South Carolina a little later that year. Didn't come in quite the way I wanted to look. I took second in the super heavyweight class, so was coming in there for the overall. But, I came out of that show with really high spirits. I was able to garner a couple of sponsors. I changed coaches after that show. So if you guys don't know, I have been working with Boston Lloyd for the better part of the last 6 months, and we've made some pretty tremendous results. As of today, I'm actually weighing in just shy of 290 pounds in fairly decent condition.
290 pounds.
20.
Wow.
290 pounds, and that's at 6 foot. If you guys didn't already know,
6 foot 290. That's
some pro.
AJ respects that.
Yeah,
AJ respects that. Yeah.
So how is it working with?
I know AJ loves the tall guys, so much love for that. Thanks for bringing me on.
So what's different with working with Boston Lloyd compared to your ex-coach?
So do I have a little bit of time to kind of dive into how Boston and I linked up, or are we in a hurry?
No.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually found myself on the wrong end of an infamous Boston Lloyd troll post. I'm sure you guys have all seen those. That's kind of how Boston makes his name. It actually ensued after that 2019 NPC Midwest Championship result. Boston thought the results between myself and another super heavyweight competitor were a little suspect. So I went ahead and just made a post. But behind the lines, Boston and I were talking, and he said, don't take this post the wrong way. I think a lot of this, and I think you're going really far. And from there, a friendship kind of spurned. We started kind of talking about a lot of philosophies and things like that. And shortly after my 2019 Junior USA run, my coach and I basically decided that we had come about as far as he and I were going to be able to go together. We'd made some consistent results in the offseason, but we just hadn't been able to put together the look that we were wanting to bring on stage. So my instincts just said, let me go ahead and connect with Boston. We've had some pretty good preliminary chats on diet and supplement philosophies and things like that. And I just felt like he was going to be able to be there for me and allow me to transition directly into a productive offseason. And it's been nothing short of tremendous.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. That's very good news.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to 2020, guys. Right now, we are slated for a run at the 2020 NPC Junior Nationals.
Okay.
And assuming we get the result that we want to get there, I'd like to roll that right into something like USA's or North Americans and obviously make a big splash.
Fantastic. Tyler, myself and AJ are going to be at the Arnold Classic. Are you going to be there?
I am going to be there.
Oh,
That's
yes.
I have actually never gone to one of the major shows. I've actually witnessed two IFBB Pro shows in person, but I've been waiting to go to a major event like the Arnold or the for an epic lineup, and I just needed everything to time up right and come together. And this year the lineup is just tremendous. I'm a huge fan of Sergio, so I'm coming out to check that out.
Nice.
having Big Rami in Columbus, that's going to be huge. I mean, this is just a tremendous lineup. I can't wait to be there. I'm coming in on Thursday. Would love to link up with you guys all weekend long.
Fantastic.
One thing, though, you do know that getting your pro card right now, we've expanded. It's a lot, many different ways for an American to get your pro card right now. You know, you can just take a flight to any part of the world now and try to get your pro card.
Yeah, you know, that's correct, AJ. You're right about that. But, you know, I come from the old school bodybuilding tradition. You know, I'm someone who sits on YouTube all day long and watches, reruns of, 90s, NPC Nationals, USAs, things like that. And I want to follow that tradition. You know, I don't want to be someone who just flies down to the Dominican Republic or wherever they're running these new pro qualifiers and just grab one, because I want to come into the game with respect and a good reputation. And, I don't want to have to dig myself out of that hole because, I'm not going to name any names, but some of the guys that have gone down to some of those shows and grabbed those pro cards, I don't think they're getting some of the same level of respect and the same degree of clout that the guys that are winning the USAs and the Nationals and the North Americans.
Yeah.
So I want to do it the right way. And, of course I want to do it in 2020, but, I'll take as long as it takes, I'm definitely not going to go the easy way out here because I want to earn it the right way.
Who do you got for the Arnold Classic? Who's going to win it? Open class. Who's winning it?
All right, guys.
No. Give us your top 5.
Top 5.
In order.
All right, top 5 on the spot. And just for a little background information, AJ and I talk shop with bodybuilding all the time. We're always talking show predictions, but I have got Big Ramy coming in hot. Obviously he was off the radar last year, but he's beaten everybody in this lineup a multitude of times. And I still don't know who's coaching him, but it's do or die for Ramy after sitting last year out. And, I still think when he's even 90%, I don't really know if anybody in this lineup can beat him, save for William Bonac. So I've got Ramy first. I've got a William Bonac coming in second.
Yeah.
I've got a hot Cedric McMillan coming in third. We all know Cedric is Mr. March. March is definitely the time of the year that he brings his best physique.
Cedric's doing it. Sorry. Cedric's doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw some pictures on his.
Cedric in the third.
Okay.
And then the fourth and the fifth spots, that's really interesting because there's a lot of dark horses in this show. You can't go on without mentioning Dexter Jackson. He looked great at Tampa last year. Not quite as good at the Olympia, but I have no reason to think that he won't be on for this show.
So who's your top 5? Who's your top 5 then?
All right.
Ramy, Bonac.
We've got Ramy, we've got Bonac, we've got Cedric, we've got Dexter. Now let's talk about this fifth spot right here. So we've got some dark horses, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm just gonna throw some names out before I pick. All right. Okay. So give me a second.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Josh Lenardowitz looks fucking crazy right now. Okay. Absolutely insane. Surely you guys have seen those pictures he dropped.
Yeah. Agree.
Patrick Moore. He just gets better and better and better. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my boy Sergio. It looks like he's coming in north at 280 pounds this year. Obviously, he's got his name all over that posing check. That 10K is going straight to Sergio, no questions asked.
What about Patrick Moore?
What about Josh and
AJ,
Patrick?
I'm going to throw you a bone here too, and I'm going to mention your boy Biecki because there's no reason Lionel Biecki in top form.
You've been talking.
Ty, you're gonna make AJ cry now.
So
when
who's your top 5 then? What's your number 5? Who's getting the 5th spot?
I'm going to take a safe bet. I'm going to go with Patrick Moore. I'm going to go with Patrick Moore for that 5th spot.
Okay.
I think we all know he got a little bit job with that 10th place Olympia placing, but
big time.
I think that actually helped him because we've been talking about him nonstop since last October, September, whenever the show went down. And, he's gotten better and better and better. He stays in great shape. The quads get bigger. The arms get bigger. The waist gets smaller. I don't know how he's doing it, but he's tremendous. So I got Patrick Moore in there at the 5th spot.
Fantastic.
Well, 2020 is going to be a big year for you, isn't it?
Yep.
It is going to be a big year. Everything's
going to be a good year. It's going to be a great year for you, bro.
Ty Jordan, 6 foot 250 on stage.
This year, and hopefully we meet later the year too.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's your Instagram handle?
My Instagram is at Ty_Jordan_bodybuilding. Check me out. That's the main online platform that I'm on right now, you guys, but I post every single day. All of my workouts go up every single day. I'm a pretty old school progressive overload trainer. So if you like heavy lifting, a lot of old school, come to my page. And I'm pretty transparent with my updates. So if you like to see a lot of off-season updates as well as pre-contest, I'm your boy.
And end it with a front double, bro.
You know what? I'm coming in with the most muscular.
Okay,
right
I thought he was going to be a diva then. I thought he was going to be a diva.
That most muscular, and I'm also going to mention my sponsor, Phase One Nutrition. Nice. I've been with them for 6 months now. They've got some of the best pre-workout products in the game. Very hardcore supplement line, and they actually just dropped a new product. It's called Function, and it's going to be an anti-stress, anti-catabolic product that you're going to use in your contest prep, and I think that's going to be a huge one for me. So again, just want to shout out Phase One Nutrition for having my back for the last 6 months. Also want to shout out Jaguar suits. They've been making posing suits for some of the legends in the sport for going on 20 years now, and they also sponsor me. So much love to Jaguar suits.
Ty Jordan, it's great to finally speak to you, because we all connect on Instagram, but there's nothing like getting somebody on our screen in Global Muscle Studio, is there?
Hey guys, I think that's this opportunity. You know, I'm looking forward to making you guys proud this year in 2020. So sky's the limit.
Good man, good man.
But he's moving up way. You didn't even mention Lionel Baker. I don't know. This is not
AJ's gonna cry now. He's gonna delete you off Instagram.
We'll see about your boy, man.
Okay.
Ty, thank you so much, and we will see you at the Arnold Classic, mate. Thank you.
All right, guys. I'll see you in March.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Later.
Sorry, I'm just minimizing.
That's our athlete.
Star profile. Global Muscle Star profile.
A very hungry man.
Yeah. Very, yeah.
Hungry. You can see he's hungry.
He's hungry.
That's what we like to see.
Yes.
You can see it,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Yes. Ty Jordan. Can't wait to see him at the Arnold Classic. Yeah,
Can't wait.
That's the good thing about going over to America, is you get to see all these people that you've spoke to through the year, and they follow you and you follow them, and it's fantastic. But yeah, good 6 foot 290. I'd love. What do we compete at? 230, 240, 250?
240.
Prepped by Boston Lloyd. Okay. And we are